what is the definition of the word harm? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's pretty straightforward. The verb harm means to damage or injure physically or mentally. Wow. The Trump administration has just proposed a new rule to change the definition of the word harm, specifically when it comes to how the government treats the habitats of endangered or threatened animals or plants. And if this change is approved, conservationists say it could lead to more mining, logging, construction, and development that will destroy the places where those endangered or threatened species live. Now, before I tell you all about how you can get involved in all of this, I want to thank my Facts HQ paid subscribers for overwhelmingly voting for this story as the bonus this week. If you want to vote on next week's bonus story, make sure you become a paid subscriber to my Facts HQ Substack. There are lots of other perks you get, so if you want access to all of them, make sure you follow the steps you see on the screen right now. And if you don't want to be a paid subscriber, that's cool too. You can be a free subscriber and you will get my Facts HQ newsletter sent straight to your email inbox every single weekday. It's an excellent resource, and since we still don't know what's happening with TikTok, signing up for it is literally the best way for you to stay connected to me. Okay, so let's talk about this proposed definition change and what it will likely mean for endangered and threatened animals and plants if it's approved. So last week, the Trump administration's Fish and Wildlife Service and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration filed this proposed rule to the Federal Register. The rule, if approved, says it would rescind the regulatory definition of the word harm as it's been interpreted in the Endangered Species Act for more than 30 years. The Endangered Species Act, by the way, was passed by Congress in 1973, and it does lots of things, including prohibiting actions that harass, harm, pursue, hunt, shoot, wound, kill, trap, capture, or collect plants and animals that are determined to be on the verge of extinction by the U.S. government, so those plants and animals have a chance to survive. So in the law, Congress gave the power to determine which plants and animals should be put on the endangered or threatened species list and which ecosystems and waterways should be protected to the Secretaries of Interior, Commerce, and Agriculture. And as of today, the Environmental Protection Agency says there are 1,300 endangered or threatened species currently listed in the United States. Now, for all these decades, the U.S. government, these secretaries, federal regulators, and Congress have all interpreted the word harm very broadly. And even in 1995, the United States Supreme Court weighed in on the definition of the word harm as it related to the Endangered Species Act. In the end, the justices ruled 6-3 that the word harm included habitat modification. Now, as a result, today, any activity that destroys, alters, or degrades the habitat of listed endangered or threatened species can be deemed illegal, even if that activity does not specifically kill or harass that specific species. Well, under this new proposed rule, the Trump administration is arguing that habitat loss should not be considered harm because the action that led to the habitat loss is not directly targeting any specific endangered or threatened species. The Trump administration points to the conservative Justice Antonin Scalia's dissent in that 1995 Supreme Court ruling. Scalia said Congress never intended for habitat modification to be a violation of the Endangered Species Act. Of course, Scalia's opinion was overruled by the majority of the Supreme Court, but today the Trump administration says Scalia's dissent was powerfully reasoned and that based on the recent overturning of the Chevron doctrine, Scalia was right. The Trump administration says if this rule change is adopted, the new definition of the word harm, which would not include habitat modification as an illegal act, would only apply to new permits for drilling, logging, mining, construction, and development. Now, it's important for you to understand this rule cannot be adopted until it goes through the regulatory process. That process includes you. Yes, if you have an opinion about the definition change for the word harm, either way, you have the right to add a comment. There are already tens of thousands of comments posted, and those comments must be taken into consideration. You have until May 19th to add your comment to the Federal Register. And if you want to comment, I am going to email the link out to you in my next Facts HQ email, so make sure you sign yourself up.